Well, it's the morning of day 2, and got up around, I guess, just before 7 o'clock. Wanted to catch the sunrise and get a fire going. It was a little chilly this morning, but not too bad. I was actually sweating most of the night. It was quite warm in the tent, but still slept really good after that long day yesterday of 15-16 kilometers of portaging. So I think every muscle in my body is feeling it right now. It's pretty sore, so it's nice to wake up to a beautiful morning. You got a nice slight wind coming out of the south, which will help me as I plan to head into Carroll Lake, into Woodland Caribou today. And fingers crossed, there's no portages. Might be one pullover from what I've seen, but should be a good catch-up day. Do a lot of fishing, take my time, and find a good campsite. So looking forward to that, and just gonna take a bit more time, just enjoy the sunrise and the nice weather, and make some breakfast and fuel up for the day. Mio Sports, which almost went through this full container yesterday, so I think it helped quite a bit, just get me over that hump. So all my freeze-dried foods are repackaged into Ziploc bags, so save space. This was well, it was 5 meals. I ate one yesterday, but look how small that is. Saves a ton of space. Here's my breakfast. Not the tortillas. So pretty much all freeze-dried foods. I didn't want to mess around. I started dehydrating this year, but not as confident in my recipe making abilities. So it's Peak breakfast skillet, Mountain House breakfast. Got that dehydrated bacon. So I'm going to do the Peak breakfast. Here's what it looks like. I left a little oxygen packet in there. Put the instructions on what it was and how much water. And that's pretty much it. I'll fill it with water. I'll put this inside a empty freeze-dried food pouch and let it sit for 15 minutes. So really like this setup, fits right to my Nalgene. I mean, it's a Catadine Vario. It's a little bigger for sure, but I do like it. So we're gonna use my MSR pocket rocket stove. You can see that. Super small, like if you see it in my hand. So just a great little stove. This GSI pot has the measurements on it. It's a nice light, it's aluminum pot. Worked great so far. So a little bit. Water's done boiling. Basically, I'm going to take this. So I brought 2 empty freeze-dried pouches. Just gonna open that up. Just gonna cram that in there. Get that ready. First, I'm gonna pour in the water I need for my coffee. I do use the Starbucks Via. Found the best tasting for me. So I need 500 for freeze-dried food. Here's what it looks like. Looks pretty good. The Peak breakfast skillet. Stir. That's what it looks like once you add water. Seal it up. There we go. Now I'm gonna wait. So I got into the onto the island campsite on Obukowin Lake around 7:45 in the evening yesterday. Didn't have a lot of time to scope out campsites and everything like that since it was getting dark. So I'll give you a little tour of the site here. So here's a view from the campsite facing south. As you can see, that's south right there. There's a little island there. And the portage coming in, portage number 3, is somewhere tucked in the southeast there, right around that corner. So not too far of a paddle. Able to see the sunrise. It's a beautiful sight. So there's a fire ring here already. Just a nice sight here. I didn't have much time to look for tent pads, so I chose over here, which wasn't bad. It was on a little bit of a decline, but it was relatively even in one direction, so I was able to sleep fairly well on my sleeping pad, and the ground was soft, so that was nice. So it's right on rock, so you can't really use your tent pegs, so I just had to tie into the trees. So it looks like maybe could go there. Again, not ideal. This is kind of cleared out, so it looks like, you know, that's probably a tent pad there, or even right here. So seems to be some good options. Might take some work. I could see there's a fire ring right over there, so I might take a walk over there to see what that looks like. There's some hunters. They're headed to the portage. wasn't sure if paddle planner how accurate it would be, but portage distance 14.5 kilometers. That feels about right. So it's good to see that it's accurate. So today is pretty much all paddling except for one little, I think it's a pullover going into Carroll Lake. So I make my way up around here, and yeah, it looks like there's a little portage. It was a pullover for someone that I saw a post on, but that could have been earlier in the year, so might be different. Then I'm gonna make my way through this into Carroll Lake, somewhere through here, and camp somewhere in this area, depending on my time. I'll check out the island sites. So it should be a nice day to get into some fishing and not have to push it like I did the first day. And then tomorrow I'll head down the Haggard River here. So should be good. Excited to go into Ontario. First time into Woodland Caribou. Woohoo! Just pushed off from camp on Obukowin Lake. About 11 o'clock, so about an hour behind when I wanted to leave at 10, but there's no real rush today as there's only maybe one portage. And boat stopped by, there's a couple of hunters. Trapper actually said he'd been trapping this area for 30 years, and so chatted with them for a bit, and he was talking about how much everything's changed as far as you know, not a lot of lynx like you usually see them, but multiple wolverines, which I know are pretty rare sightings, and tons of bears, of course, which is everywhere. So it's definitely changed the landscape. Plus you got the forest fires in Nopaming and Woodland Caribou. All these things definitely impacting wildlife. So, very interesting, especially if you're a trapper. You stay probably tuned into what's happening and the changes that go by. It sounded like it's a pretty interesting time to be a trapper anyways. Wind's starting to pick up. Got a few little whitecaps coming out here. Not many, but I wonder if this is a shallow lake. It has that kind of feeling to it where it gets wavy pretty quick. I'm just gonna get closer to shore here, just in case it blows up. And I should have a little reprieve from the wind as soon as I round this point here and start heading east. I'm gonna try some fishing, some trolling now that I'm out of the wind a little bit. Invest in a rod holder. Gotta free up my hands when I'm paddling, which is kind of nice. I still might be trolling a little faster, but we'll see. Lots of hunters out. Ran into another boat. I don't know if you can see him. Looks like he's not him right there. And nice guy. I guess most people out here are nice, so it's nice that they stop and chat with you for a while. So the wind's changed around. It's coming from the south before, which gave me a nice tailwind. As soon as I started heading east and came around this corner, it's coming straight from the east. I'm going right into a headwind, which I don't totally mind at this point. It's probably better than a south crosswind. I'm trying to keep a line and cut across. So manageable right now, as long as it doesn't get any stronger. It should be okay. I'm almost at the opening to the creek that goes into Carroll. Now turning north again, should lead me up a creek to Carroll Lake. It's a busy lake, lots of hunters, so kind of surprised by that. I've heard people talk about moose hunting out here, but didn't realize there'd be that many. I guess I'm a little shocked because I'm usually in Nopaming and there's no moose hunting allowed. That's why it's a bit of a change for me. But it's kind of nice. I'm in a new area and it's actually welcoming seeing other people out here. So far paddling 5.42 kilometers since the island campsite, and been on the water an hour and a half, but paddling time a little less than that because I've been stopping to chat to people. But so far it's been a nice paddle. Now entering the creek area. That's going to take me to Carroll, and just saw a plane touch down. And I think, can't really see, right behind me, anyways, behind that shoulder, right in there. Straight across from the creek is an outpost. I guess it's from Wallace Lake Lodge. Nice, tucked out of the wind here. Nice and quiet. So it looks like this is gonna do a little S-turn. So it's gonna turn left and head north and then swing around to the east. Right when it swings around is the border between Manitoba and Ontario. Oh, it's so calm right here. This is the time you could come across on a moose. They never hear you coming. Almost to the border, but it looks like we have a few rocks coming up here. I don't think I'll need to get out. Famous last words. I could definitely hear, I don't know if it's wind or rapids. Let's see what's around the corner. I don't think it'd be rapids. Water's pretty low right now. Oh, I think according to the GPS, I'm officially in Ontario. Woodland Caribou, Provincial Park. Yeah. Just gonna savor the moment. First time in Woodland Caribou, Provincial Park. This is great. Unbelievable weather. It's gotta be close to 30 degrees right now. I'll have to check the forecast, but it's a hot one. But still wearing long sleeve. I just don't want to burn. But this is gorgeous weather. Feels like summer without the black flies and mosquitoes. So, perfect time of year. If you could just freeze fall or find a place that's perpetually fall, that's where I'd be living. This is such an amazing time of year. Surprised no wildlife right now. It's nothing, it's just quiet. Aside from the one hunter saying they saw a cow moose and a bear swimming in the water not too far from where I was camping on Obukowin. There hasn't been a lot of big wildlife. Lots of grouse. A few ducks, but not as many as I thought there'd be. There's no flocks of geese or anything, so I don't know if this is off their flight plan. Their flight path, I should say. But nonetheless, still amazing. Can't wait to get on Carroll. Just want to gauge my timing and then do some fishing. Maybe catch some fish for lunch. Should be perfect. Looks like I'm coming up to a beaver dam. So it's approximately where it shows a portage on the map. So this might be it. It's definitely quite a drop at the other side. River looks pretty low, so this could be interesting. There's the portage. You want to come river right, I think. Looks like someone had a fire. Probably stop for lunch, which I'm probably going to do. So just a short little carryover. This will be interesting. River looks pretty dry, so I'm hoping, just hoping the water opens up there. So I started off this morning, left camp, made my way up around to here. This short little pullover, and that took me 2 hours, although I stopped a couple times and chatting with people, so probably an hour and a half paddle today. Where do I want to go here? Lost my spot. Then I want to go up over to this point here. So depending on how the wind goes, that should take, just a guess, 4 or 5 hours. So we'll see how it goes. I was going to try for some fish, do some casting. Lots of minnows in the river on the Obukowin side of this portage, but looking at the river going down into Carroll, looks pretty low. I see nothing but weeds, so I'm just going to make a quick lunch. I brought some tortillas, some mini tortillas, some peanut butter, and jam packets. In hindsight, I'm not going to bring this peanut butter again because it's has some weight. Same with the tortillas. I mean, it packed easy. But after on a trip like this where there's lots of portages, every little bit adds up. These little jam packages. Pretty, but it works. There we go. pretty easy. But like I said before, peanut butter's heavy, so I might either bring a little less or not at all. Looks like an old burn area. Actually, I don't really know if this is from this year and everything else just grew since that time. I don't know how quickly everything grows back. But to me it looks like an old burn, in my non-expert opinion. Now, the river's got me a little worried. Nothing but weeds. So I'm hoping I can at least paddle through it, or it opens up sometime soon. Not as bad as I thought. It's about a foot deep. At least I'm moving. And it's walkable, so. My worry was that it was completely dry or only a couple inches, and I'd be dragging the canoe. Which I don't have the energy for. Yeah. It's alright. If you were in a tandem with a lot of gear, this could be a pain. Or even a solo that's maybe narrower, that sits a little deeper in the waterline, from the waterline. That could also be a little treacherous, but so far I've been in some pretty low water with this Clipper Packer canoe. One of the reasons why I bought it, it just maneuvers really well, and just an all-around good canoe. So I'm coming up to Carroll Lake. It looks pretty bouldery. I may have to get out again. Boo, boo hoo. Oh, come on, please let me get through. Maybe this way. Oh, I could just fit through. Right on. I'm at Carroll Lake, the mouth of the river, and I'm just going to pull out the map and orientate myself a little bit. Hello. So I do have a GPS, which has been super helpful for this trip. Just takes some of the guesswork out. But when you're not moving, the direction is kind of all over the place. So I know which way north is, so I can cross-reference on here exactly where I am. So it looks like I come out of this river, hug the shore to the right. It's straight across to the far shore and hang out left. And then I'll check when I get over there. Also, got this AquaQuest map case. Haven't tested it out in the water yet, but it looks pretty durable. I really like it. I've had smaller ones, but there's actually 2 topo maps in here. one going in and then one on the Hager River going back, plus a bunch of other paper. So I really like it so far. I think it was a good investment. Paddling around, my GPS showed a different way, but it's showing I can get in through here, but I just don't see an opening. I don't know if I got a little portage here or pull over or what's going on. It's showing access hugging this right shore. See if it's there. It's the thing, if you're not totally zoomed in on your GPS, it doesn't always show all the details until you zoom in. So heading north along the border, there's that one spot where I couldn't find, well, I didn't go far enough, but if I would have kept hugging the west shore, there was a spot between the islands, but I ended up cutting across the east side of the lake, since I didn't think there was anything on the west, but looks like there is. Beaver. The first sign of geese. Where's my finger? Right over there. Saw a lot of ducks too. So definitely a lot more birds on the Ontario side than on Obukowin Lake. Gonna do some trolling now. Not sure what kind of fish we got in here. See if I can fit through here. If not, I gotta go around the island, which will tack on a little bit of time because I'm going into a headwind. The only thing here is if I get hung up on a rock, I'm gonna have the wind pushing as well. So. But it looks like good flow. So clear here, looks like rocks everywhere, but able to get a little break from the wind. It's kind of nice that I have to wind and hide. I could hide behind a lot of islands and land instead of facing a headwind across a big lake. It's also right, it gives you a chance to have a little break. Hard to fish though when you got a wind like that. This headwind is kicking my butt. It's been paddling for close to 4 hours. I think it's 3.5 hours. Most of it in the wind. And I still have pretty good distance to go. I'm more than halfway to where I want to go, but if I keep fighting this wind, it's gonna be tough. You start to dream halfway through your trip going, oh, maybe a good Samaritan and Bo will stop by and offer a lift. Yeah, hey, can I take you to your campsite? Sure. Oh, by the way, here's some cold beer. Oh, one can dream, I guess. Being out of that wind makes a huge difference. We average around 5 kilometers. I'm averaging 5.5 out of the wind. As soon as I hit that headwind, it's right down to about 3 kilometers. So, big difference. You got a lot of ground to cover. It's getting pretty wavy, this one section of the lake. Not too bad. Just I can't make a direct line to where I want to go, so I gotta keep my nose into the wind and the waves. I also see smoke all over the lake and I can smell it. It seems pretty thick, so I don't think it's campfire. It must be south wind. I'm in line with where they had the active fires. South on that Garner, Beresford, Davidson area. Big chunk of woodland had fires this year, and I think there's still some active ones going since I wasn't allowed to go in the Garner entrance. Just gonna tuck out of the wind here, small little island, just to filter some water and have a bite to eat. Been paddling straight for 3.5 hours, so time for a break. Stretch the legs. Oh, actually feels nice standing in the water. This water is really clear too. Once I get a little bit closer, I'm anxious to get some fishing done. Just by luck, stopping at this island to fuel up. Look behind me and there's an outpost or lodge. I think that's Carroll Lake Lodge. There you go. If I didn't stop, I would never have known that was there. So here I am, this little island right there. And it looks like I marked a campsite there too. So I'm just gonna go through here. There's a campsite on this large island. And then there's 2 other campsites on these smaller islands. So got some options there. And that'll set me up for tomorrow getting into the Haggart River. Well, it's 5:14, almost there. There's one campsite somewhere on this big island in front of me here. I think I'm gonna push a little bit further. There's 2 or 3 sites right at the mouth of the river. I don't know if that's considered the Haggart, but I'm gonna push on just since I got a little bit more daylight. So if I can get there by 6 and have an hour to set up before sunset, then feeling pretty good. Good paddle. Good to be getting close. This headwind's killing me. All right, my campsites are in sight. Woohoo! It's 5:30. By the time I get there, 5:45. So good 6 hours, 45 minutes on the water. Oh, 45 minutes talking to hunters on the way in. And I stopped for a bit and for lunch. And then probably an hour just with the headwind. And not having my GPS zoomed in enough to see some of the detail and kind of running into having to backtrack into the wind. So I believe the paddle planner had it just under 5 hours, so again, that's pretty bang on, considering with the headwind and everything else. So good. Still have some some confidence in that paddle planner. It's been accurate so far. So I got the choice of, there's a kind of a point coming out of the mainland, right at the mouth of the river. And then there's a larger island and then a smaller island. So I think I might take this smaller island, just up here on my left, and see what that looks like. If not, I'll try the other island and then point. I usually like to stick to islands as much as possible. It's more just peace of mind with bears and stuff like that. They're good swimmers, so they can swim across the island for sure. But my train of thought is that it just, you know, reduces the risk of an encounter even a little bit more. Plus, I'm not cooking anything right now. I just have freeze-dried meals. If I wasn't so late today, I'd try to catch some fish and fry it up. But we'll try that in the morning. So then I feel better about cooking the smelly stuff in the morning when I'm leaving the site, and then get on my way. So just a few precautions, especially when you're by yourself. It just helps to give you peace of mind. Coming up on the island side here. Can't tell if there's a marker there or not, but I'm gonna do a little paddle around. Go check it out. I don't see anything jumping out at me. If anything, right on that edge is where I would camp. That's exposed to the north end, so when the north wind. Oh, there's a lot of blowdown on this island, but I think I see a fire ring right where it looked like a good spot for a camp, so I'm gonna go up there and just check it out. Imagine with the low water, there's a lot better access to these sites, but it's so low this year. Alright, let's go check it out. Probably better sites, but I like this point for fishing or not, but my butt is so sore I don't think I could sit in the canoe anymore. There's an old fire ring. Definitely hasn't been used in a while. Oh, nice and soft back here. Yeah, this will work. Some mushrooms too. Wish I knew what kind of mushrooms are. I see some tracks here, some moose tracks right there. Right there. The moose come through here. Cool. Yeah, this will do. Maybe a little cleanup, but it's got a good view. So just looks like some hat hair there. So yeah, I'm at the campsite. It's calmed right down. Oh, it's beautiful on Donald Lake, I guess, according to the GPS. Thought it was part of Carroll Lake. Just unloaded the canoe, all my gear, put the canoe up top, and now I'm gonna look for a spot to put the tent. And not sure where I'll do a fire. The existing fire ring is a little close to a lot of deadfall. It's been a while since it's been used, so if I can move it down to the point, I'll do that. Mosquitoes are out, so it might be a good idea to have fire. There's not a lot of choices for tents. It's a couple spots maybe, but there's some sketchy trees overhead. There's a lot of blowdown here, so got to keep that in mind too. I'm gonna go over here, which is a little bit of a slant, but I'm hoping it's not as bumpy as it looks. So at the very least, it's going to be soft. Whew. Finally, to relax. Such a long day, the headwind. I don't even think I'll do a fire tonight. The fire ring there is so old. There's too much deadfall around it. So it'll take a little bit of work to make a new one, and ultimately just too tired. A lot of portaging, some short ones, a few long ones coming up next few days, so I best just take it easy, get a good night's sleep, and plan to get up early. Haven't done much fishing today, so figure if I get up early, maybe I can catch fish for breakfast or something like that. 11 o'clock by the time I got on the water, so I'm gonna have to get moving a lot earlier than that tomorrow, and get an early jump to the day. Plus there's tons of mosquitoes here, just getting eaten alive. I don't want to put bug spray on though. I'm already greasy enough, and don't want that on me. But so another reason to go to bed early. It's weird how there wasn't a single mosquito or barely any bugs on Obukowin, but there's lots here, so go figure. In the tent already, and it's about 8 o'clock. Long day from Obukowin over to, I guess it's Donald Lake, as it says on my GPS. I thought that was part of Carroll, but it must be the start of Donald. Just want to get a good night rest, as got a lot of small portages and that coming up, and got on the water a bit late at 11 and started running into people and talking to hunters, and it was slow moving, so that slowed me down, plus the headwind, and just finding my way through this new area. So thought I'd hit the hay early. Super hot right now, wearing nothing but my underwear. There's no breeze or anything, so it's pretty warm. Gonna get up early, maybe do some fishing from shore since I didn't get to a lot of fishing today. Start making my way tomorrow, so I want to get an early start. The rivers have me a little bit nervous, as everything I've seen so far has been really low. So it could be interesting. Some of the portages could be longer because of that, so we'll see. But want to rest up, save up my energy. I don't know if this will pick it up, but I can see lightning in the distance. Be a storm moving in. Hopefully not too much in the way of wind, since there's a few sketchy trees around here.